Hi, I'm Tracy Pierce. Thanks for joining me for this Live with the Animals video series. So this series was born out of what was happening here in the United States in March of 2020. States were going into various forms of lockdown, shelter-in-place orders, and I became really curious about what the animals thought about all of this. And they certainly had some opinions and asked me to do this video series. And here we are now in October, still have lots of animals coming forward who want to share their wisdom with us. So thanks for joining us. And today we're going to talk with a Southern Leopard Frog. So let me pull up this picture here. So a friend of mine sent me this and from Minnesota, which is interesting. I spent a lot of time in the Midwest and I don't remember seeing a frog like this there. But maybe some of you are familiar with this kind of frog. And so we're going to tune in and talk to it. And if you're joining me live on Zoom, you can use the chat button to type in any questions you might have for this frog. And if you're joining me live on Facebook, just type that into the comments. I'm just going to get quiet here and see what this little frog would like to tell us today. So I feel this kind of softness quality that it's not quite 100% accurate. But it's also showing me something about the delicateness of its body. Well, hello, little frog. It's nice to connect with you. I wonder what you might like to tell us about you or your thoughts about the world, things happening today. Kind of an open forum. Our friend Audrey sent your picture. Anything you might want to share with her or our other viewers? So, well, it's not quite softness or like my body being super delicate that was necessarily showing you. It's more like this lightness, this way of having lightness in your energy as you're moving through life. Can you tell me more about that? Feels like there's more there. So it's showing what it's showing me is it's showing me itself, and there's sort of this ball of energy around it, and it's showing me how it makes that energy around it itself kind of softer. So it's reminding me, we've talked about armor. I think it was the beetle that talked about the armor before, and it's showing how we have a choice when we're out and about in life, whether we hold our energy like tight and hard and like feeling like there's armor around us pushing people away, or things, not just people, or there's like a gentleness or a softness, a way of relaxing that boundary a bit that makes moving through life a bit lighter. That's what the frog is saying. Okay. Sometimes I feel like we as humans aren't necessarily aware of how much armor we're really carrying around. Do you feel like there's a way we can be in better touch with that, or ways that we can soften our energy? That might be something that's really difficult for some people. Do you have any advice on that? Says, well, it kind of starts with this self-awareness. So it's showing me these two different scenes of like a person being at home, sitting in their favorite recliner, sipping on their favorite beverage, maybe watching TV or doing some other kind of activity where they feel really relaxed and just like having that, like bringing some awareness to how your energy actually feels when you feel relaxed. Like It might be something like you're doing a body scan or something. It's not like, oh, you're just kicking back, enjoying your beer and letting the relaxation happen. There needs to be some level of kind of energetic awareness to what's really happening there. Like, so, when you feel relaxed, does it feel like there's more space in your energy or around your body? Or when you're relaxed, maybe doing a body scan and noticing if there's any areas in your body that feel tight, or maybe some areas that feel more relaxed than others. So this frog is saying there's a lot to do with body awareness and energetic awareness. So he's saying, then he's showing me this other scene of like being at work in a high stress kind of corporate job. He shows me this guy wearing a tie and like, marching around the office and showing how there can be like this hardness in a person's energy when they're at work, or it's almost like they put on a different character or like a different cloak or something. It's showing. So if you're somebody who is playing a lot of different roles in life, to take some time, and this could just be like a 30-second stop and scan your body, noticing what's going on. This frog is saying so many of us humans are very, very disconnected from our bodies. We value what our physical bodies look like, but we're actually quite disconnected from how they feel and what they want us to do, or maybe nutrients that our bodies want. This frog is saying that it really is about like pausing and taking time and noticing the energetic effects of certain activities or people, things like that we need to stop and be aware of. Says it can only be 30 seconds. He's like, you may be that, or like guy in the tie in your corporate job, like, okay, so sit down in your desk and like, okay, I've only got 30 seconds, like closing the eyes, doing a scan through the body and allowing that 30 seconds to be enough. Maybe you take some notes or journal or write it down or something. The frog saying that may not be necessary, but starting to bring, he's saying daily, but there's also, he's showing like these different points through the day, like as you're changing and doing different activities, becoming aware of how your energy is changing and moving, how it feels doing those different activities. I keep feeling this other thing in the background, little frog, about dreams. Like I feel like you're also saying something about dreams that maybe I'm not quite catching. Is there something there with the dream factor? So this frog is saying that when frogs show up in your dreams, it actually is a very potent or important animal. Okay, are there certain meanings or certain messages that frogs in dreams always mean, or can you tell me more? This frog is saying that frogs are considered very good luck, especially in dreams. If you're seeing them in your dreams, you should expect good luck. Okay. Is there more? Feels like there's more. Am I missing something? The frog is showing how it can be. He's saying it's not like specifically my kind of frog that I am, like any kind of frog that might show up in your dreams can be a really a guide. So is it like if the frog shows up in our dreams, we should maybe try to ask the frog to be our guide or to show us something? Or so it's not necessarily about asking us to show you something. If we're there, we're ready to show you something. It's more like turning and putting your focus on me. Yeah, it's showing, so it's showing like me turning and really tuning in completely, like being very focused and directing my consciousness towards this frog. Yeah, I was saying it's not that one. It's not that different actually from animal communication necessarily, where the communicator is really focusing on that animal. There is a way, and the frog is saying this may be for more advanced dreamers. Like he's saying, this is not for you, Tracy. Like I personally, I hardly ever remember my dreams. But he's showing like people who are maybe able to be more lucid in their dreaming, if they can really point their focus towards the frog, and it almost feels like this kind of energetic merging in a way, like letting the frog be your guide and to take you deeper into the dreaming. Yeah, I think so. There's no overarching message beyond the luck thing. Like I would like people to feel lucky when they dream about frogs. There's it's showing like sprinkling. I see like gold coins somehow, showing the luck of the frog. Okay, I am. So this frog is telling me there's a long, there's some history with Chinese, some Chinese tradition and animals and luckiness with frogs. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to check that out or look it up. All right, I'm checking for any questions from our viewing friends. Any questions for our little frog? Let's see any right now. Little frog, is there anything more you want to tell us about you or advice for us humans? So it's showing me like itself being kind of covered with mud, and how there's this pleasurable feeling having that earth element on us. So one thing it's showing with, is this for me specifically? Yes, but it's for others too. How, okay, like there's all this information kind of coming in at the same time. I feel like this is partially related to coronavirus, partially related to me, but it's showing how like the way we take care of ourselves has kind of changed with the whole coronavirus thing. Like it's showing, like I used to really like to go to hot springs a lot, and it's more difficult and regulated. Like you only get this much time instead of being able to go for the whole day, kind of thing. It's showing how coronavirus has really changed these kind of self-care activities. It's almost like um, it's showing this kind of seizing up thing, and it is pointing, saying, Tracy, this is for you, but there's other people who need this message too. So it's showing, like those of us, we need to make time and priority time for some of these self-care activities. So it's showing me, like if you're into mud baths or things like that, like doing masks, or it's also showing me like doing oil on the skin. Is it about nourishing the skin? Like I feel like there's something about the skin. Yeah, so it's showing itself like how it really takes in a lot. Like when it's covered in mud, it almost feels like it's able to take in some of the nutrients through its skin, and showing how really thin it is. And yeah, so it's showing too like how much pollution we take in through our skin, and how it's important to nourish that part of us, whether it is through some kind of mud bath, or yeah, the mud and the oil is what it keeps showing me a lot of. Taking time to nourish this big organ where we take in a lot more than perhaps we realize. Thank you. All right, so we've got one comment, and Nancy would like you to know that you're quite beautiful. I agree. I've rarely seen frogs like this in the Midwest in the wild. I was really quite taken by the emerald green color you've got going on there. All right, checking for any other questions. All right, Frog, you've shared a lot of wisdom with us. today, I wonder, is there anything else you want to be sure to share with us? Want us to know, or have you hit the highlights? Is there more? Well, honestly, there's a lot of things I could talk about all day, but the nourishing of the skin does feel really important, and I wanna bring the luck thing forward again, and the dreams. There's a lot of it keeps showing me this green color, like to do with money or something. I don't remember ever hearing of frogs being associated with like good luck or abundance or money, but this frog is telling me that's what it's all about. So I guess I never, sometimes I really mix up genders when I'm talking to animals, because they don't always, like, they don't have as much attachment to their gender as maybe we humans do. Are you female or male frog? Okay, if you female coming forward. All right, cool. All right, so Kim's saying that she has heard that frogs are lucky. So, all right, excellent. We can definitely take that message with us. Any last final words of wisdom you want to share with us, my little frog friend? It's showing itself jumping, these leaps and bounds. Um, yeah, and it shows, it's interesting, it keeps showing like one of its back legs then being damaged. So it shows it jumping with full legs, and then it shows itself jumping with just one back leg, saying even if things get difficult and you lose a leg, like you're still able to keep moving forward. And life may get difficult, but there is a way to keep on moving forward. Showing like there's an adaptation. Yeah, it's weird. In the last maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I've seen a lot of crickets or grasshoppers or spiders where they're missing a leg or two. And I think that's interesting that you bring the leg thing up, because my husband and I were trying to remember like which animals are able to regrow their legs and which aren't. And what I feel like you're showing here has a lot to do with we learn how to adapt to what we have. All right, so we have a question for you. Do you have any suggestions about clearing toxins from our body? The earth element is really helpful for that. The frog says it shows like going out and putting your hands on the earth or having bare feet. And he said this is more energetic toxins than physical toxins, necessarily what I'm saying here. But like there's a way of, the stuff that's bothering you or on your mind or that feels toxic, putting your hands and feet on the earth, the bare hands and feet. And there's a way of like showing like this kind of growling, even like getting the energy moving and pushing that energy into the earth, saying you're not going to hurt the earth to do this. The earth knows how to like recycle and regenerate these kinds of intense emotions. So that can be a really good way for clearing energetic toxins, it says. So it's showing me too these mud baths again. Like I'm not sure this, coronavirus times, if this is something that's even available at this point in time, but he's showing me like, I've seen it on TV stuff too, like these bathtubs that are filled with mud in a spa kind of situation. He's saying, if you can afford a spa, go for it, but there may be, like maybe you have, he's showing me a creek or a lake. I'm sorry, I keep saying he, it's a she. I confuse gender all the time, but showing how, if you have a place where you feel comfortable and able to really get yourself in the mud outside, like that can be, there is a way that the earth, the mud, the earth, like can pull physical toxins as well. Is there more? He's saying it has to do with finding the right element for you. So it's showing like for me personally, maybe Tracy, mud would be really good. Like I might need the earth element to help move these things out, but for other people, water might also be really, really good. So this frog is showing himself next to a lake and how the water, and he's showing it's a kind of similar thing. Like there's an intent, there's a like moving of the energy through your voice, through, you know, like there's a powerful kind of thing, moving that energy into the water and letting, so you can do this as simply as taking a bath. Yeah, he's saying toxins are so much more than just the physical stuff in your body. He's showing me like the energy around a human and how there can be these gray specks or haziness, and moving that is just as important as moving the physical toxins, is what he's saying. She's saying. Yeah, she's showing too, like for some people it might be the wind element that helps them move toxins. They say it's really quite an individual thing, but for moving toxins to really look to the elements, if that makes sense. Wind, water, earth, water, earth. I think there's metal. It depends on like which tradition you're talking about, which elements they're talking about. All right, any last thoughts or words of wisdom you want to share with us, Frog, before we close today? Says, unless you have questions, I feel pretty good about that. All right, excellent. So go ahead and stop sharing for today. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us here today. It's always such a pleasure to do these sessions. And I anticipate doing them for the upcoming future. Who knows? As long as the animals keep showing up with messages, I'll be here sometime during the week sharing their messages with the world. So take care, and until next time, take care and be well.